Alright, hey guys, my name is David. I'm here with Team Apex, and I'm here to do a little deck profile today on my deck that I've managed to get to 40th ranking on matches on Dueling Book. And let's hop right into the deck profile. So the deck, although it's called Chaos, is basically just Dragon Link with the added engine of the Thunder Dragons along with the Dragoon package. So we'll go over a little card by card, and I'll explain exactly how everything works. So first we have one Absolrato Dragon. I'm highly debating playing more just because it's such a good card. Might even play two or possibly even three. We'll have to see. Uh, Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, three Black Metal Dragon. I want to take a second to talk about this card just because you'll notice that most Dragon Link decks have only one, along with the Red Eyes. But one thing that I want you to pay close attention to is that it actually says it adds a Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand, and it's not once per turn. So it's also able to add your Red Eyes Fusion and the Red Eyes Black Dragon, which might sound not that great, but what actually ends up happening is if you normal summon this, your first add is going to be to add the Red Eyes Metal Dragon. The Red Eyes Metal is going to special it back, and then when you link again with it, you're able to add Red Eyes Fusion, which is basically your free discard, right? It's basically a free +1, and if you're able to special it one more time, you can add Red Eyes Black Dragon, meaning that when you mill later on in your combo off of the Chaos Ruler, you now have the brick that you might mill in your hand, and you have one less bad mill in your deck, right? So it actually makes the milling a lot better. And in my experience playing over 100 games with this deck, it rarely happens that you mill a brick when you've added twice off of the Metal Dragon. Moving along, we have two Chamber Dragon Maid. Fantastic card. I don't know that I would really play three just because alone it doesn't do the full combo. So I've been happy with two recently. Uh, the one Legionnaire, the one Chaos Emperor Dragon. Fantastic card for this deck just because it adds a banished dragon monster to your hand, which comes up when you're doing Allure of Darkness, or just in general, there's a lot of banishing going on with this deck. It might actually be beneficial to add that banished dragon monster to your hand, and then obviously when it's in your extra deck, you can banish a light and a dark and special summon it. It being level 8 means you can use it for the Zombie Stein. Moving along, the one Noctovision Dragon. Not a super big fan of this card. It could brick with the Thunder Dragon engine, but it's been good so far, so I've left it at one. The one Brotar, the one Red Eyes Metal Dragon, two Rocket Recharger. Some people play one. I choose to play two just because if you draw it or if you go through one, you know that you always got a second one in your deck. It actually comes up more times than you might think. The one Rocket Synchron, I don't play Hot Red Dragon Archfiend in my extra deck. However, this is for the Needle Fiber combos. So just the Tracer and one other monster makes your Needle Fiber, brings this out, and you can continue your combos like that. It's also good with the Noctovision, which is level 7, or the Absol which is level 7, to make the Chaos Dragon, or Chaos Ruler, I should say. Three Rocket Tracer, two Safer. Didn't really want to play three. I feel like two is enough. Three Thunder Dragon, two Dragon Dark, one Hawk, and two Roar. I feel like this is the best ratio. I used to play the level 8 that would banish 2 to summon itself. Opted to take that out just for a smaller Thunder Dragon engine. Um, the Hawk actually has some of the best synergy in the deck just because when it's banished or when it's sent from field to graveyard, you get to shuffle cards from your hand, or basically, I should say, you get to mulligan your hand, which is excellent because this adds the Red Eyes Fusions or the Red Eyes Black Dragon, which could be shuffled away for free. Your Thunder Dragon, adding another two Thunder Dragons, could be shuffled away. Just in general, there's a lot of adding cards to your hand that are generally used for discards, and the Dragon Hawk allows you to get rid of those bricky cards and actually have draw possibly some better cards. Moving along, we have the White Dragon, the Dark Magician, Ultimate Wizard in terms of attack and defense, and the Ferocious Dragon with a deadly attack, obviously for Dragoon. Then we've got three Allure of Darkness, probably one of the better cards in the deck. Dragon Link doesn't usually play this card. Drawing two cards and seeing more than one copy of this actually allows you to see so many powerful cards in your deck and possibly even your side deck. And then obviously, if you have any of these, then you're really going off with this Lure of Darkness. The one Boot Sector, three Chaos Space, Necro Valley, Foolish. Obviously, Foolish goes beyond just sending the Absol Router. It's able to send the dragons as well to be banished, to kind of continue in further combos. Forbidden Droplet, in my opinion, is the best going second card right now, just because Dark Ruler is great going second. However, it's not great going first. Oftentimes, I find myself setting the Forbidden Droplet as an additional negate going first. So fantastic card going both first and second. Also, just with the Allure of Darkness, the Chaos Space, the Noctovision, you tend to draw a lot of cards. So I'd prefer to have spell cards going second than hand traps, especially in 60 cards. D1 Gold Sarcophagus to set up my Thunder Dragon plays, one Monster Reborn, obviously, Quick Launch, two Red Eyes Fusion. I chose to play two instead of one just because the black metal can add one, and obviously if you mill one off of the Chaos Ruler, then you're not too sad because you know you have another one, or if you draw one, you know you have the other one for the Predaplant. Two Triple Tactics Talent. Personally, I'm on the fence about this card. It's very, very good when it works, but it's also not very good when it doesn't. So, still on the fence about this. If you have any ideas of what I can replace this with, feel free to comment down below. Moving on, the three Twin Twisters, super good card in game ones. If you're not playing a huge combo deck, this is amazing versus back row decks, and obviously the discard actually works really, really well in this deck. Most of the cards in your graveyard have graveyard effects, or you're actually able to set up a dark or a light in your graveyard to banish and further your combos. So, very good card. Also very good versus the Shaddoll what's it called? Reshadal Fusion. You're able to chain the Twin Twister, and you might actually have a fighting chance in that game. World Lexi Guard Dragon and two Dragon Maid Tidying. I used to play three. I found that it was very bricky, and I was seeing it too often, so I kept it down to two because oftentimes you'll special the Dragon Maid off of the LP. Moving along to the extra deck, we've got the Dragoon, Savage Dragon, Chaos Ruler, Zombie Stein. Zombie Stein is basically just a replacement for the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. It does the same thing with the additional cost of discarding. Sounds bad, but what ends up happening oftentimes is I don't actually manage to get to the Rocket Synchron, and in that case, I often find that I'm using the Levianeer very often along with the Chaos Ruler. So just in case, I play the Zombie Stein just because it comes up a lot more often than the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. And also, as I mentioned, you've got the Chaos Emperor, which is a level 8 as well. Appaloosa, we've got the Boral Sword, Needle Fiber, Romulus, LP, Pisty, Heretic Seal, the Anaconda, Quad Boral, and two Striker Dragons. So pretty standard extra deck with the exception of the Dragoon package and the Zombie Stein, obviously. This would be a hot red, and these are kind of usually flex spots. But again, the Dragoon package is actually supposed to be a surprise factor because when you stop Dragon Link, oftentimes they're kind of struggling to continue to make that board, especially if you hit them with something like a Droll, right? The Dragoon is always assuring me that I have a backup play that is very, very strong, right? Any two monsters in this deck are going to make me that Dragoon, and the Dragoon's pretty sticky on the board and actually burns and is able to put me in that game. Moving along to the side deck, we've got three Droll Lockbirds. Really good card this format. Was playing Lancias because they were lights, but I find that the Droll Lockbird just generally shuts down decks a lot better. We've got two Nibiru. I'm looking to take these cards out just because you don't see hand traps often enough. I might cut these cards, so if you've got any suggestions what I can replace it with, feel free to comment down below. Three Retaliating Sea. I've mentioned that the Shaddoll deck is definitely one of my worst matchups. Seeing Winda is a tough spot, so the Retaliating Sea at least gives me like a fighting chance to kind of make them lose a little bit of advantage while I try to reclaim the board. Dark Ruler No More, one of the better cards going second. Harpy's Feather Duster, and two Lightning Storm. These would be my three back row removal cards that I would side in alongside my three Twin Twisters and the Imperial Order. Now, a lot of people, especially the ones that I play against in ranked, that tell me I'm very lucky for drawing it. Yes, it's very unlikely that you draw it, but with the amount of draws that you see with the Allures, with the Hawk Shuffleback, with the Noctovision, the Chaos Space, you actually end up seeing a lot of cards in your deck, especially when you're thinning it, right? You end up adding and sending so many cards that when you have like a 30 card deck and you're drawing two cards, the odds of you seeing one of your side deck cards actually starts to increase. So that's the deck profile. If you guys like the deck, comment down below. If you like the video, like, subscribe, and I'll be posting some more replays of this deck, playing against some high-rated opponents in the coming days. If you have any suggestions, you think that I can be doing something differently, I'm very open to some comments. There's a couple cards that I want to change around. If you have any ideas or want to kind of bounce some things off of me, feel free to comment down below and I'll address them in my next video. And with that, David from Team Apex signing off. Peace.